Okay, I thought I would take a few minutes and show you a harmonized part of a harmonized scale in the key of D using two shapes and drop D tuning. So let's start with the drop D tuning. Right now this guitar is tuned to standard tuning, but we're going to lower the lowest string down from an E to a D. I've got a tuner on my iPhone here, and just for what it's worth, it looks something like that. This particular one I recommend. It's available both for iPhones and Androids, and it's called the Pano tuner. That's P-A-N-O, and it works good. So basically it's got a little scale, and as you play the notes it zeroes in on a letter name that lets you know what you're tuned to. In the case of drop D tuning, well, you'll want to check your whole guitar, and if you need help with that, just make a note in the comments and I'll do an extra little lesson on that. But what I'm going to do right now, that normally is an E note, and I'm going to tune it down like so, down past the D, and then back up to the D. Okay, and we're going to move kind of fast here because I want to be concise, because there's a lot to this. So we're going to use two different shapes. The first one is going to be what you probably will recognize as a D chord, except now we have that nice low string bass at the top, which really opens the guitar up considerably. Instead of just having like these strings for a D, now we have that low one, so it really does wonders for the guitar, and you can play a lot in that tuning. So we're going to be exploring that for a while and learning how some theory relates to it and stuff. But for right now, let's play this D chord. Yes, the other shape is what you would probably recognize as a D minor chord, and I'm putting the chord chart above one of my shoulders. You should see it appearing by now. But we're going to play this D minor shape at different frets in order to get different chords. So without a lot of explanation, I'm just going to play something here. It's part of a harmonized scale, and what that means is instead of single notes, we're going to play it in chords, like, and we're going to play it all together so it's musical, and it'll be something you can play around with and see what you can find. And these kind of concepts it's a lot like learning chess in a way, because you can learn all the basic chess moves, like what each piece does, in a fairly short time, like an hour or so. But figuring out the way the game flows and all the strategies and everything, it takes a lifetime and then some, and nobody ever masters it completely. So it's that way with a lot of music stuff. Like, you can learn the basics fairly quickly, and then that's where the fun starts, really. So I'm going to play this harmonized scale, and I'm just going to do some right hand strumming. We'll get more into talking about what your right hand might do in various circumstances as time goes by. But today we're going to focus on the harmonized scale. So I'm going to play that scale now, and then I'll show you a few of the fine points of it. And there's so many things you can do with that, like put it in different orders and stuff. But that is by no means meant to be really a teaching moment. It's just an observation. Here's what it might sound like with a little finger style thrown in. So I hope at this point some of you are listening to that and maybe hearing how you might put some lyrics with that kind of sound, and how you might, change up the order of things and explore. Because, what I'm trying to present here is how you can pick a guitar up. You might be by yourself and you just pick your guitar up and start exploring with it, but I'll tell you, after 50 years, it never ceases to amaze me how I can pick the guitar up and play something that I've never noticed before. I mean, there it is all of a sudden. In fact, that harmonized scale I just played, I kind of figured that out in the last couple of months, really, and I'm finding new aspects to it every time I work with it. So I'm just passing it on to you all, and knowing that a few of you will probably really resonate with it. So I think that's good for right now. Boy, that 10 minutes sure goes by fast, and I think that's a pretty good length for these little mini lessons. And if I keep them short and sweet like this, I can crank out more of them. So there's a lot to cover, believe me. And this drop detuning is a pretty cool thing. I think you'll enjoy it. It's so versatile. And so thanks for listening. Hope you learned something. Catch you next time.